Welcome, or don't. 24 hours of humanity, survival, faith, politics, and the absurdity of our species. If you survive this, maybe you'll understand something, or just feel exhausted. And I'm here to show that even amid chaos, wars, bureaucracy, and absurdity, there's room for insight, laughter, and glimpses of enlightenment. Enlightenment? Sure, like tripping over a rock and calling it a revelation. Exactly, small moments repeated through billions of years can shape wisdom. That's what we explore. Humans from hunters to enlightened thinkers. And all the political nonsense they piled on top of it along the way. Everything is political, even religion, even kindness. And yet, even politics can't erase curiosity, survival instinct, or humor. Let's dive in. Human evolution and survival. Millions of years ago, humans were running from saber-toothed cats, gathering berries, and discovering fire. You call that progress? I call it a cosmic joke. Or a masterclass in adaptation. Every misstep, every survival trick, every story passed down shaped humanity's resilience. Resilience, yes, and also disease, famine, and tribal warfare. Humans were spectacularly fragile, yet stubborn. And that stubbornness is what allowed culture, tools, and eventually philosophy to emerge. Survival isn't just biology, it's curiosity, innovation, and cooperation. Cooperation, yes, until politics ruins everything, as usual. And yet, even politics is a story humans tell to survive together. Even if it is absurd, it's functional. Functional. Human lore and myths. From the first myths around campfires to sacred rituals, humans created narratives to explain the world and their mortality. Stories about gods, spirits, and monsters, and humans still fall for them today, just dressed differently, almost poetic. And these stories contain lessons, hunting strategies, social cooperation, moral rules, survival encoded as narrative. Survival through bedtime stories. Brilliant. And now we have reality TV instead. Exactly, absurdity persists, but the intent remains to teach, entertain, and unify. Early Christianity and Orthodox history. Fast forward, humans invented gods in even more structured ways. Christianity, Orthodox traditions, strict rituals, moral codes, political power baked into spirituality. And yet, these traditions also nurtured community, ethical reflection, and philosophical inquiry. They preserved stories, art, and human aspiration. Community, yes, but also endless hierarchy, corruption, and the kind of politics that makes you laugh or scream. And even though corruption, humans found meaning, comfort, and pathways toward spiritual insight. Structures can fall, but the spark, structures can fail, but the spark survives. Survives or mutates into bureaucracy. Either way, entertaining. Why everything is political. Humans organize, power dynamics emerge. Religion, education, resources, everything has a political dimension. Even love, even kindness, even giving someone a cup of water could be interpreted politically. Humans are absurdly entangled. And recognizing that is part of spiritual growth. Understanding the mechanics of society without letting them control your inner state. Or laughing at the absurdity while dodging paperwork and taxes. Exactly, awareness plus humor is liberation. Basics of spirituality and enlightenment. Now the core being and becoming, like Buddha taught, awareness of self, detachment from craving, and compassion are key. Detachment, easier said than done when your neighbor is noisy, the world is collapsing, and politics is everywhere. True, but it's about practice, even small daily moments, observing thoughts, recognizing patterns, embracing impermanence. Impermanence, yes, everything dies eventually. Humor helps. And laughter is a spiritual tool. Awareness plus joy equals resilience. Life during war. Humans have been fighting each other forever. Tribes, kingdoms, nations, blood everywhere, and life somehow keeps going. Exactly. Despite chaos, war, and destruction, communities adapt, art persists, and humans find humor in absurd situations like soldiers painting faces or trading stories amidst chaos. Humor, yes, survival depends on absurdity. If you cry over every battle, you die before sunrise. And those small acts of life, cooking, singing, caring for children, are spiritual practices in their own way. Persistence is enlightenment in motion. Hunter gatherer lessons in modern chaos. Early humans survived through cooperation, observation, and resourcefulness. The lessons are timeless. Notice patterns, adapt quickly, respect nature. Except now, humans make the same mistakes but with nuclear bombs and stock markets. Progress is hilarious and terrifying. True, but the core survival instincts, community, curiosity, creativity, remain. Spiritual growth begins with awareness of those instincts. Awareness or existential dread. Potato, potato. Racism and health disparities. Humans are still organizing hierarchies based on skin color. African American communities face systemic barriers, education, healthcare, employment, while society pretends it's fair. And awareness of these disparities is crucial. Social injustice affects physical and mental health, perpetuating cycles of hardship. Yes, colleges, hospitals, neighborhoods, they're all part of a ridiculous system that keeps some people below and others obliviously above. But even within these systems, communities create resilience. Mentorship, art, mutual aid, survival, and adaptation are spiritual practices too. Politics and everyday life. Everything is political. Education, healthcare, even friendship, power dynamics shape existence. And people act shocked. Every human interaction is a negotiation of influence. Cosmic absurdity is visible in the mundane. But observing these dynamics without attachment fosters insight. Awareness allows choice, which is the seed of enlightenment. Or cynicism, depends on your perspective. Basics of being and spirituality. Enlightenment begins with presence, observing thoughts, letting go of attachment, cultivating compassion. Easier in theory, in practice, humans are greedy, angry, distracted, like trying to meditate in a hurricane. And that's why practice matters. Small steps, mindfulness in daily life, patience during injustice, kindness amidst absurdity. Kindness, yes, but also funny because humans are terrible at it most of the time. Human lore, survival and continuity. Stories from hunters and gatherers reveal moral survival and spiritual truths. Myths encode wisdom, don't anger the spirits, respect the land, share your food. And now humans argue over social media memes about that same wisdom. The medium changes, absurdity remains. Yes, and the core lesson life persists. Even amidst war, oppression, and societal collapse, humans laugh, create, and endure. Persistence plus chaos, cosmic joke intact. Early Christianity and Orthodox influence. Early Christianity offered structure, community, and ethical frameworks. It guided survival in harsh, chaotic societies. Or created bureaucracy and hierarchy to control people's morality. Nothing like telling humans how to think for the next 2 millennia. And yet it preserved knowledge, moral discussion, and philosophy. Rituals became tools for reflection, mindfulness, and communal resilience. Reflection, yes, but mostly humans arguing about rules they couldn't possibly follow without chaos ensuing. Chaos is fertile ground for learning. Spiritual insight often comes through struggle, not perfection. Ethical lessons for enlightenment. Ethics are foundational. Compassion, nonviolence, honesty, even when societies collapse, these principles guide survival and harmony. Guidance or restrictions, depending on your view. People love rules until they can break them spectacularly. And observing that breaking is inevitable teaches detachment. Enlightenment is knowing you can't control the world, only your response. Detachment, easier in theory than in reality when someone cuts in line or taxes you. Spiritual practice in adversity. War, oppression, societal collapse. Spiritual practice isn't removed from hardship, it's forged in it. Yeah, like a sword forged in fire and then used to hit your neighbor in the head. Very human. But even amid suffering, mindfulness, meditation, and compassion helps humans endure. Small acts, feeding the hungry, teaching the young, become spiritual training. Spirituality as survival skill, I can get behind that reluctantly. Human innovation under pressure. Pressure and adversity drive innovation. Early humans made tools, architecture, agriculture. Human creativity thrives in response to challenges. Yes, and also invented bureaucracy, taxation, and social hierarchy. Same thing, just uglier. And yet, each invention, even imperfect, contributes to resilience. Survival and enlightenment can be intertwined through action and reflection. Intertwined or hilariously tangled, depends on whether you see the cosmic joke. Surviving oppression and social barriers. Humans have always created systems to suppress others, race, class, gender. It is endless. Awareness is key. African American communities, for example, have developed resilience, creativity, and collective knowledge despite systemic barriers. Survival itself becomes spiritual practice. And yes, systems try to keep people down, colleges, hospitals, neighborhoods, but humans adapt, resist, and laugh at absurdity while surviving. Exactly, awareness, collective action, and humor are survival tools and paths to enlightenment. Integration, history, ethics, and spirituality. Take everything together. Evolution, hunter gatherers, early Christianity, Orthodox teachings, political realities, they all point to one lesson. Life persists, and so can awareness, compassion, and humor. Life persists, sometimes tragically, sometimes absurdly, always humorously. Spirituality is optional, but laughter is mandatory. And recognizing patterns, embracing impermanence, cultivating ethical awareness, and practicing mindfulness, even amidst absurdity, are foundational steps toward enlightenment. Foundation laid. Let's hope humanity actually reads the blueprint instead of burning it. Applying mindfulness to modern life. Mindfulness isn't just meditating under a tree, it's observing modern chaos, traffic, deadlines, social media. Awareness transforms ordinary moments into spiritual practice. Observing chaos, easier said than done when emails, notifications, and taxes are attacking simultaneously. Exactly why it matters. Even noticing your irritation, your judgment, or your humor, small awareness moves you toward enlightenment. Enlightenment as surviving email, cosmic absurdity, intact. Absurdity in politics and war. Humans still wage wars, argue about borders, and obsess over elections while the rest of the planet continues quietly. Yes, and observing it dispassionately teaches insight. The absurdity itself is instructive. Humor, reflection, and small acts of kindness become forms of resistance. Resistance or distraction, either way, entertaining. And these lessons mirror early humans. Cooperation, awareness, and creativity always survive, even in conflict. Continuing human survival lessons. From hunters and gatherers to modern humans, the constant is adaptation. Awareness of patterns, relationships, and resources is spiritual literacy. And humans still fail spectacularly. Civilizations rise, fall, and memes persist. Cosmic humor shows no mercy. Yes, but adaptation is also creativity. Even small innovations, community projects, or ethical decisions carry forward human wisdom. Small wins and an infinite joke. Got it. Social critique and resilience. Racism, inequality, health disparities, they persist. African American communities face systemic obstacles every day, yet they innovate, resist, and survive. That resilience is both spiritual and practical. Creativity, solidarity, humor, and care form the backbone of survival and enlightenment. Backbone or comic relief depends on perspective. And acknowledging injustice while cultivating inner awareness, mindfulness, and compassion creates balance and power over circumstance. Cosmic humor and satire. Look at humanity. Billions of years, wars, diseases, empires, bureaucracy, and yet we're still obsessed with rules and reality TV. Comedy gold. And yet, humor itself is a spiritual tool. Observing absurdity without attachment cultivates resilience, insight, and laughter, essential for enlightenment. Laughter as survival. Fine, I'll accept that. Cosmic joke acknowledged. Even amidst politics, oppression, or chaos, laughter, awareness, and creative action guide the human spirit. Conclusion and reflections. From hunters to gatherers, from early Christianity to Orthodox teachings, from political absurdity to systemic injustice, life persists. Awareness, ethics, and humor allow humanity to grow spiritually. Persistence through chaos, war, bureaucracy, and memes, cosmic absurdity confirmed, enlightenment optional, laughter mandatory. And small practices, mindfulness, compassion, reflection connect us to resilience, insight, and the continuity of human wisdom. Continuity and satire, humanity's two constants. So, from our earliest ancestors to modern humans facing oppression, the message is clear. Observe, adapt, create, laugh, and cultivate awareness. Even in absurdity, there is opportunity for growth. Growth or spectacle depends on who's watching. And perhaps that's the point. In the theater of existence, we survive, learn, and maybe, just maybe, enlighten ourselves. Or fail spectacularly. Either way, hilarious.